Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Start beginning of the most merciful and mighty. First of all, we know before starting the lecture, today lecture, so I would like to go a little bit previous lecture and start from that portion to discuss some points as we discussed previously, and then moving on to the next lecture. In previously, as we have discussed about, we said that today's lecture is a continuation of previous lecture. Is a continuation of previous lectures, as we have discussed about that organization regarding organization development that bringing reforming changes inside the organization. Continuously bringing changes inside the organization development is one of the aspect. Is one aspect. So not only we have to focus, while we are studying organization development, so our focus will be not to bring changes inside the organization, but we mainly have the focus on yourself too, to bring change on your individual too. It means that our second aspect, our aspect will be to bring changes in yourself too, because organizations organizations today won't work isolationally or individually. Isolationally, or if we are consistently bringing changes inside the organization, the structure, the rules and regulation, everything, so that would be difficult for organizations to survive. Because organizations are consist of people. It's consist of people. It's not isolate. It's not individual. It means that it's a collective. It's a people and as well as organization. So it just means it consists of people, because organizations are running by people. So it's important that you work on yourself. So that's why we can say that we are looking not only the organization change to bringing variation or changes into the organization, but we're also looking for individual to bring changes in yourself too. As we said it that this world is dynamic, not static. Continuously changes are incorporated in the market. So when the peoples are static, they are unable to change themselves. So for time being, there will be a use of the market, but for a long term, they will be unable to survive in the market. So that's why they have to change themselves. As I said, that organizations are consist of people. Now for people, if they want to survive in the organization, they have to change themselves, identify their weakness, their weakness and strength, uh, and change their weakness into their strength for the sake of their future. You know, for the sake of their future. So as we discussed that currently the time has changed. See, the time has changed. Time is not the same. As we if we look a little bit, if you look at previous years, so people were thinking, or their way of style, their style is completely different as currently. It means if you look at the customer perspective of the customer perception of the customer of 10 years, previous 10 years, our customer perception right now is completely different. It is changed. So it means the time is not static, it is changeable time. So for ordinary person, not like ordinary, those who are unable to, those who are not familiar with the technology. For a simple ordinary person, it's difficult to be in to be you know to engage his or herself with the technology. For ordinary, those who are simple ordinary. But you guys are future managers. You guys are the managers of coming, the managers of upcoming different organizations in the future. So be your managers, be your future managers. So definitely you have to change yourself. Now, like now today's. Managers are continuously bringing changes into your behavior and want to add because two things will start developing in your nature: flexibility and as well as adaptability. Now, number one, adaptability and flexibility. Now, today's managers, those who want to survive or want to looking for the future to be present in the market, they have two natures in their personality. One is adaptability, another is flexibility. Adaptability is means that learnable, all the time learning. Flexibility means whenever a change is come according to that situation, he or she is changing self, him or herself accordingly. Him or herself. Yes, Tariq, it is chapter 2. I'm just going previously discussing about previous lecture in order to connect the previous one with the two.
سايس استاذ.
Yeah, that's why is a
ما گفتم من طرف ما ضعیفی نشده باشه.
نه ما میخواستم که امروز
سايس تو سايس.
چپتر 1 که ما چیزا را کم خواندیم ما را میخواستم کنکت کنم به خاطر این چیزا کلی
بله.
اکتیویتی داره که ما اگر
سايس.
ما چپتر 2 شروع کنم داریم
سايس.
باید شما کنفیوز شه که ما چی خواندیم چرا خواندیم چی گپ شد. ما میخواستم که امون خودتانه از امون
خیر ببینی سايس.
درک کنم به چپتر 2 بیارم. صحیح است؟
سايس تو سايس.
Now, as I said that the managers of today is very flexible, they are changing their self, they are looking forward for new learning, adaptable, or according to situation, they are changing their personality in order to survive. Now see, now today, if you observe current time today, people have, people have paid more has or her performance rather than time that they spent. Now see, just observe this statement. See the statement. People have paid more on his or her performance rather than time that they spent. Time that they spent. It means that currently organizations are more focused, they are highly focused on employees' performance. They are looking for people who are having those who are high performer and those who contribute something for their organization and those who are their natures are changeable continuously according to the market, those who are initiative or creative or their decisive decision power is outstanding. They're looking for that rather than for employees who spent time years and years and years in the organization with the no output, no. Now, see, simple is that if you make it more simple, is this that the organizations for today looking for output. They hire employees, those who are having output. They are not hiring all those employees, those who are having no output. So that's why that's why we are saying that if you want to survive in the market, if you want to be in the market for a longer time, so you have to be a performer. You must be a performer rather than to act silently or sitting just passing the time. Now passing the time means that you are not adopting the change. Those who are high performer, they are going according to change. Those who are not high performer, it means they are spending the time uselessly. Now see, organization development is discussed to bring variation changes inside the organization. Now see, as previously we discussed that, as previously we discussed that if we are highly focused on change, in previous chapters, in previous chapter classes that we discussed that changing yourself, change the organization is it's more important. Changes in organization is important, but highly important if you change is the if you look upon yourself too. Now, if you're looking to organizational change, if you're ignoring other side, the human or employee itself, the changing, bringing itself is ignoring that. So that's because no one knows. If you're consistently working, bringing changes, and you're not bringing changes to you also, and you're doing the same activity again and again, but you don't know, no one knows when a new technology will come and replace you. Definitely, it's a technological era. It's a time of technological era. So you have to change yourself in order to survive. Tarek, my voice is clear.
Yes, sir, very clear.
Am I fast? Last time you guys complained that I'm fast.
Mm, Nešto hubasi, bor hubasi.
Perfect. So that's why I'm acting up. I change myself according to you guys' desire.
Hayır bir binusto.
Okay. So as we previously in previous classes, as we discussed that you guys are we discussed that customer desires are not static. Dramatically changes are incorporated in the customer desire, and continuously changes are incorporated in the customer desire. So if continuously changes are coming in the customer desire, so definitely you have to change your organization, operation, your employees, their way of dealing according to employees' perspective. If you are unable to change according to employees' perspective, so you'll not be able to incorporate. Now see, today a shift is came, changes came from quantitative to qualitative. A shift is dramatically shift comes from shift means change comes from systematic from quantitative to qualitative. From quantitative to qualitative, a change came. You know. Now see, how would you like to change yourself from qualitative, from quantitative to qualitative? Now every organization is looking for to be a qualitative rather than quantitative, working for effectiveness. Now, because qualitative change will give them, support them to be a higher, to maintain, retain a higher performer in organization. Now, see, if I'm asking you guys that change yourself from quantitative to qualitative, so analyze yourself and then start from, it will start from home, from your home. Now, start from home. Like how you start from home, you have to observe yourself that how best you provide to the society, and how would you change your working pattern, how would you change your working pattern, how would you change your working, how would you change your working pattern, how would you change your working pattern. Now, working pattern, way of dealing, behavior, interaction, communication. Now, when you consistently analyze yourself, you will get to know where I should bring improvement, where I should eliminate the unnecessary thoughts or the unnecessary work, and where I should more have focus in order to bring improvement or advancement in it. Like when you analyze you all the day, look, similarly, inside the organization, we are doing that. We are going for analyzing, observing that where we have weakness, where we have faults, errors. Now, when we are looking for errors and flaws inside the organization for observing, why we are going for consistent evaluation to organization, for the sake of to observe, to evaluate, to identify the flaws, the errors, in order to overcome that. Similar that you for your own life. Observe your all the circle of your day, that where you are spending your time qualitatively, which give the support for your growth and development, and where you are spending your time, you know, freely, which is giving you no outcomes. So that's why organization development is not only for the organization perspective, it is for individual employees also, for individual person also. As we said that, as like see, we said organization development. We said organization development is a two word, organization and development. Now, organization, inside the organization we have, we look at that, organization development is a two word. Organization, as we said, is a consist of people, right? It consists of people. Development means to bring change, growth. Now, when you talk about development, the word development is saying growth. Now, development doesn't mean, now when we are talking, develop doesn't mean to cut off your employees, to stop giving their salary, reduction of employees, downsize the employees, or restructuring other things. We are not ignoring that. It is a part of that. But development means bringing improvement. Development means to make better, to bettering the organization, to improve the organization, its process, rather than to cut off these all the things. Now, downsizing is not the factor that you are applying. You see that? Organization development, why we developing the organization? For the sake of betterment, for the sake of betterment. Now see, organization development is consist of these 6 points. Organization development is a consist of, we have saying that organization development is consist of these 6 points. Number one, organization development is a plain change. Organization development is an effort of plain change. Okay. Now see, now what is that plain? We said that organization development is the plain, is a plain, is a plain change. It means that it is an effort of plain change. OD is an effort of plain change. Now, it means that any changes when you want to bring inside the organization, it must be plain. It means sudden changes that you bring inside the organization, it is not the change. It's not OD. OD is what? OD is an effort of plain change. OD is an effort of a plain change. Make sure when there is no planning and changing occur, it is not OD. Because OD is all the time focus on planned change. Plan which we have already planned consistently. We negotiate where we have to bring change, whether we need this change or not. Do we have a need of this change or not? We assist. First, we assist, we analyze, we observe, we talk, we evaluate that do we need to bring change or not. So when we observe that yes, we need to change, so we make a plan for that. That where we are going to bring the changes, where we want to change, where we want to, where we incorporate these sort of changes, where we need this seminar, where we need this training, where we need this development, where we need workshop. So we go with all these strategies then. But first we have to make a planning for that. Without planning, no change will be acceptable. See, second word, second, organization. OD is an effort of organization wide. OD is an effort of organization wide. OD is an effort of organization wide. Now see, organizational wide. Now, organization wide means so we have to go for total quality management. Now, total quality management. Total quality management. If you remember in the previous class, we studied about the 6 aspects which affect the organization. Total quality management means, organization wide means when we are observing the total quality of management internally, when we are looking the internal organization and we ignore the external factor and we ignore the external factor, that is not OD. Organization wide means internally and as well as external factor, we have to evaluate the both factors, the internal factors and as well as external factors. That's why we can say organization wide. It's a plane, not only a single, but it's looking for both sides, for internal side and as well as external side too. We can ignore one of that. We cannot say that we can ignore customer, supplier, union, government, as you might have studied in pestle analysis and SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis for internal organization and pestle analysis for external organization. So we look at both. When we have both assessment, when we have both assessment, then we can say, yes, we need changes, where we need to incorporate these changes. Number third, that is managed from the top. Managed from the top. Organization development, whenever we are bringing changes, so it's managed from the top. Now, what does it mean? Managed from the top. What does it mean? Managed from the top. Now, see that? Do you think like suddenly, suddenly, suddenly a manager, for example, woke up early morning and he decided that I want to bring this change. Do you think it is OD? No, it is not OD. It is not OD. Remember that a manager cannot bring change. Top management cannot bring change, a sudden change. They cannot bring a sudden change. It cannot bring a sudden change. It is managed from the top. Now, manage from the top means, what does it mean by manage from the top? We will study in coming lectures. But let me clear that manage from the top means that the top management, once it is plain, so the top management have to decide it to bring the changes and where. How this change is going to be incorporated, with the help of whom, how much time it should take, and what are the strategies that used to incorporate these changes inside the organization, with the help of who. The top management, they have to decide, but not a sudden, with a sound mind, with a completely, with a strategic mind. That's why we can say that top management have to decide. They have to see the overall things, that whether we need the change or not, the changes that we are bringing inside the organization today, is it for the betterment of the organization or not? That's why we have to look for that, rather than rather than for looking sudden action, sudden changes. No, sudden changes will have no result. When we have plain change and properly communicated with the top management, and top management properly communicated with all the employees, and their concerns are clear, and all the employees are agreed, then mutual agreement is occurred, they have decided, and then they decide to bring the changes. Any one of shows the resistance, or saying that, showing their negligence, that they are not ready to bring change, the change will not be effected. So both parties should be mutual concern. Top management, employees, all the partner, they should must concern each other. They decide, then they have to take an action. Now the question is that why do we need to bring these changes? For the sake of number 4, changes are, once they decide to bring change, the change will be the increase the organization effectiveness and help to. Now see, organization, why we bringing changes inside the organization? For the sake of to bring effectiveness or to improve the goodness of it. Now, again, organizational, the top management, the employees, they're changing their behavior or pattern of their work or structure of organization. Why they're changing? For the sake of to bring effectiveness and as well as health of that organization. See, that only we have concerned, we're concerning that organization effectiveness and health. When bringing effectiveness, automatically organization will be healthy and it will be remain sustained for a longer and longer time. Now, next focus is that inside that organization development is a plain intervention. Is a plain intervention. Plain intervention in organization process. Plain intervention. What does it mean by intervention? Intervention means plain intervention. Intervention means bringing changes. But what are changes would bring? It is plain, decided that these changes will be bring inside this department where we need it, and we want change these employees. Like you categorize the employees, that these group of employees need this change, need this training, and this group of employees needs this training, and this group of employees needs this training. Because these trainings should be on the basis of need base. So that, now see, organization process. Now overall organizations, like I say, see, who run the organization, who are exist, who are involved in the organization process. Definitely human beings are involved. So then where we bring interventions, where we bring changes, So definitely in a human being in their behavior, their way of working, their actions, their way of wherever we need, their working pattern, we are bringing changes. Now that we say that interventions is for plain which bring inside the organization process. Inside the organization process means it is not run by machine, it is run by human. So it means that the interventions will be on the process of human. It means it is a human, so it will be applicable on a human. So on your working pattern, on your working pattern, on your way of doing job. So that's why we are explain intervention in the human being because it's highly focused. These changes are highly focused on human because these are the people who are the engine of the organization. Human beings are the engine of the organization. So we have to give them good oil. Now if we give them good oil, so it means that they will work for a longer time. We bring a lot of changes in their behaviors. It allows them to learn new things. Now the last one, that is, we saying that organization, we bring changes using behavior science knowledge. As we discussed that in process, who are involved? People are involved. Now how we should bring changes in people process in their behavior? With the help of behavior science knowledge. Now for implementing inside the changes in the process or in the behavior of human, with what? Definitely with the human, with behavior science knowledge subjects. Organization behavior with psychology, we have some different with different uh, books. We have behavior, whatever the subject which is talk about behavior about human beings, that is behavior science knowledge. Like organization development is a subject of behavior science. Organization behavior is a subject of behavior science. Psychology is a behavior subject. Sociology is a behavior subject. Anthropology is a behavior subject. Political science is a behavior subject. These are the which are consistently involved in, because these are the subjects through which you can change, you can work on the behavior of who? On the behavior of people. With the help of this subject, you can change their behavior. With the help of this subject, you can understand their behavior. With the help of this subject, you can understand their personality. With the help of this subject, you can understand the human, how to bring them, how to make your ordinary employees to extraordinary. So these are the subjects. Now this definition is given by who? By Richard Beckford. Richard Beckford is the giving definition that organization is an effort of plain organization wide managed from the top increase. It is a complete one definition, but we distribute in a 6 point. It is only one, this completely one. This definition is only one, but I, for understanding, for clarification, for giving you more detailed information, so I distribute, so we go with the distribution 1, 2, 3 and a 6. We make it 6 categorization of that. So simple as that. If we analyze the definition, it suggests that anything is done for the bettering of organization. Simple as that. Whatever we done inside the organization, that will be for the bettering organization. Wherever we bring changes, whether it's a process change, we design, we change, we structure. We're going for a structure design. We're going for a process design, process change design. So that all our concerns are what? Or anything for the battering organization. But ultimately, why these changes are incorporated inside the organization? For the sake of to bring a particular result. Definitely good result. But the question is that how to bring these changes inside the organization? Who will bring these changes? Who will bring that? So that's called OD consultant. OD expert. OD expert is the person who incorporate these changes inside the organization. OD expert is the one who always ready to incorporate these changes inside your organization. With the help of OD expert, OD consultant, organization development consultant, who having experience or practical experience, having knowledge of all the organization behavior subjects, who having the knowledge and who can identify quickly the need for where we are bringing changes. They have capacity and capabilities to bring changes quickly. That is OD expert, OD consultant. Now the question is that OD consultant, definitely we look forward that how many, what is OD consultant, or how many types of OD consultant we have. How many types of OD consultant we have. Now see, if you look at that, how many types of OD consultant, that was a previously lecture, but today lectures we have, that is a unique change strategy, chapter number 2, which is unique change strategy. But we have some strategies with help which OD consultant use to bring all those changes. OD expert utilize these techniques, these strategies for the sake of to bring and implement the changes. Now see, consulting the organization can take many forms. For example, Edgar Change is described 3 consulting model. How many consulting models? 3. Number 1, that is purchase of expertise model. Number 2, doctor patient model. Number 3, process consultation model. So I will not go for further discussion so deeply. So I'll just give the overview of these 3, then later on we'll go deeply. Purchase of consultancy, purchase of expert model. Purchase of expert model. Now these are the techniques, which is consultant techniques that they are hired. From the purchase word, it's clear that you hired. Now, if you look at that consultant, they always they always offer their expertise for sale. Now, two type of OD consultant we have. Two type of OD consultant we have. One is we have internal OD consultant, and another we have external OD consultant. Many organizations, they developed a department of OD consultant, which is internally they assess the organizations and they're finding out the issues and bringing solutions. And another we have external external OD consultant, which he is not involved internally, he is external and he has expertise and in return need some payments. Now see, two types of OD consultants we have, internally or externally. Now the question is, which one is better? Which one is better? Two types of consultants we have, but the question is that which OD consultant is better for organization effectiveness? As I said that, what do you think, which type of OD consultant is better for the organization effectiveness internal or external? Internal or external? Internal or external? Harun? Harun, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Harun. Okay, Harun Khurasani, and I will talk about
Yes, sir.
Tarek. Tarek Haruni.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I'm in here.
Okay, now fine. Now write your homework for coming class.
Okay.
Now I'm just dictating and you should write.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Homework का उस्ताद शुदा काम submit किंदा portal.
और पोर्टल ले सबमिट करें ما
Yes.
على بعض دي ابديت میکنم صرف این نظریه خودتون است امروز شما بخوانید نظریه خود جمع کنید که شما میبینید که
خب.
اوری کنسلتنت کدام یکیش بهتر است اینترنل خوب است یا اکسترنال خوب است به خاطر یک اداره بهبود اداره کدامی خوب است آیا یک اداره خودش یک اوری کنسلتنت خودش داشته باشه بهتر است یا هایر کنه از اکسترنال پرچیز کنه یا سرویس اکسترنال رو بگیره کدام یکی خوب است مثلا ما میگیم آدیتور که باشه یک اداره خودش آدیتور داره یک آدیتور خود اداره داشته میباشه یک آدیتور اکسترنال میباشه کدام یکیش بهتر است به خودتان میبینید کدام از خود ما کدامی که خود ما داریم اون خوب است یا اکسترنال کام نفر رو هایر کنیم سرویس خوب است
Sais to بته.
خب بگی نوشته کن
مشتاق.
what do you think what do you think what do you think comma which type which types of
کارجانم کارخانگی رو بگی در گروه بر ما روان که من یک جای هستم.
what do you
چشم.
no I'm writing on the board can you hear can
من
you see
درد
that
نکنه رفت.
can you see on the screen
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Omidi
Sais uستاذ قرفت مش.
oh. What do you think which type of OD consultant is better for organization effectiveness internal OD or external OD consultant justify with the appropriate explanation or example
Say.
यस मसलन अगर खुदा भी बेहतर है शुरू बेहतर है justify मतलब you have to give the reasons
ساي است
सही है
ساي است ساي است يا اخي
okay so I think it's enough for today
علاج جته
استاد بس خیر ببینی
بس नहीं सच में زیاد بوجته میارم
بس
بسیار شما
خیر
بسیار
ببینی
نازک هستی
زنده باش استاد میگه نازکی ما رو میبینی